Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something really cool. A band called SunBabalaw.
Yeah, they're calling their sound reggae Mexicano. Definitely not something you hear every day.
Definitely not. Okay, so we've got tour dates, some info about their message, even hints about like a visual art element to their work.
Lots to unpack.
Where should we even begin with this?
Well, the phrase that jumps out at me from the get-go is musica authentica. Authentic music. Seems like that's at the core of what they're all about.
Yeah, they use that phrase a lot, but what does it actually mean? Like
Yeah.
we need to figure out what makes their sound so special, so authentic.
Right, because we know they're a reggae group, right?
Yeah.
But reggae itself has such deep roots in Jamaican culture. So how does that translate to like a Mexican context?
That's the million-dollar question. You can't just like copy Bob Marley and call it a day.
Exactly.
So to make it musica authentica, they've got to be doing something really interesting to bring those two worlds together.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. We're talking about blending those classic reggae vibes, the rhythms, the whole feeling, but then fusing it with, I don't know, elements of Mexican musical traditions.
Yeah. Like imagine those driving reggae bass lines, but then you add in, I don't know, maybe some traditional Mexican instruments, or even just lyrics that speak to the Mexican experience.
Now, that's a fusion I'm ready to hear.
Yeah.
And it makes their whole thing about starting a reggae revolution even more interesting,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, what does that even look like in Mexico today? What are they hoping to achieve?
Okay, so we've got SunBabalaw claiming musica authentica and calling for a reggae revolution. Big claims. But how does the music itself actually reflect all of that? What are we going to hear?
Good question.
One thing that caught my eye was that one of the sources mentioned a Galleria musical.
Oh, yeah. What do you think that's all about?
I'm not totally sure, but it makes me think of some kind of online gallery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like maybe a place where they can visually represent their music and their message.
Ooh, that's interesting. So, like, not just the sounds, but the whole aesthetic.
Exactly. I bet it's full of vibrant colors, maybe drawing on traditional Mexican art styles.
And probably tying it all back to their message of peace and unity.
Oh, for sure. It
Yeah,
sounds like they're creating a whole experience, not just a band.
totally. And that seems to be a big part of their whole philosophy, getting people involved, making them a part of this reggae revolution.
Right. And they even shared their contact info, like they're really encouraging people to reach out.
Let's see, it's sunbabalaw at storkhub.click and plus 52-444-456-7890.
Direct line to the artists. Not something you see every day.
Nope, not at all. It's cool though. They're really breaking down those walls between the music and the listener.
Definitely. It's like, if this music speaks to you, don't just sit there, reach out. Become a part of it.
Exactly. Go to a show, experience it firsthand.
Speaking of the music itself, we've talked a lot about this fusion of reggae and Mexican influences.
Yeah.
But what does that actually sound like? So we've been using this phrase reggae Mexicano, but
Yeah.
what do you think are some of those key ingredients that make Son Babalaw's sound distinctly Mexican?
Well, I mean, Mexico has such a rich musical heritage to draw from, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You've got the mariachi tradition, obviously, but then there's also all these amazing folk rhythms from different regions, and even like the influence of Latin jazz, too.
Wow, yeah. So many possibilities.
Exactly. And any of those could find their way into that reggae foundation.
Oh, I can totally hear that. Like those classic reggae bass lines are still there,
Yeah.
but then maybe you bring in a trumpet melody that's inspired by mariachi or something.
Yeah, or some really intricate guitar work that has that Latin flavor.
Exactly.
And then, of course, there's the lyrics.
Oh, right. Yeah. We don't have any specific lyrics to work with here.
Right. But just imagine songs about, I don't know, Mexican identity, social issues, maybe even just like daily life in Mexico, but all delivered with that infectious reggae groove.
It really makes you realize how much potential there is for music to like transcend borders.
Absolutely.
Like some Babala calls it reggae Mexicano, and that totally makes sense. But it also makes you wonder what other kinds of musical fusions are out there waiting to be discovered.
Totally. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of music, right? It's always evolving, always blending and borrowing from different cultures and experiences. And Sun Babalaw is just one example of how cool and exciting those combinations can be.
So to everyone listening, we just scratched the surface here, but now it's your turn to dive in. Go check out some Babalaw, listen to their music, explore their Galleria musical, see how all of these pieces fit together, the Musica Authentica, the Reggae Revolution, the whole thing. It's a really fascinating journey, and we can't wait to see where it leads. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Ever heard of Mexican reggae?
Hmm.
Yeah, get ready for this.
Okay.
We're diving deep into SunBabalaw.
Oh,
They're
cool.
blending traditional reggae with like this really cool Mexican twist.
It's incredible. Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
creating a whole cultural movement around their music. It's
Right.
more than just like catchy tunes, you know?
Absolutely.
They're really pushing a message of peace, love, unity.
Yeah.
It's resonating really deeply, especially like in Mexico.
Wow. So, okay, someone's tuning in, right?
Yeah.
They've never heard of SunBabalaw before.
Okay.
Give me the rundown. Who are they? What makes them so special?
So SunBabalaw, they're a band, right?
Okay.
And they pull a lot from their Mexican heritage, which is really cool.
Okay.
So picture this.
Yeah.
You've got like the classic reggae rhythm,
Uh-huh.
but then they'll bring in an instrument like a charana huasteca.
I was going to say, what does that sound like?
Or they'll lay down a beat inspired by San Jarocho rhythms.
Hmm.
And it creates this really, really unique sound.
It's like, what's it, fusion?
Yeah. It's
You know, where you recognize the elements, but it's something totally new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
But they call it a revolution.
They do.
This is like more than just music.
Yeah, they're very, very upfront about that.
Okay.
SunBabalaw, they're pushing for social change. They're pushing for cultural awareness. They really see this fusion of reggae and Mexican tradition as a way to reclaim their Mexican identity on a global stage.
That is powerful.
It's really cool.
So, okay, I want to check this out. Where can I listen?
Oh, easy. Spotify, Apple Music, all the usual suspects.
Perfect. Okay.
They're out there.
And their website, I heard that's an experience in itself.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got tour dates, ways to connect with the band directly.
Nice.
They even have like cool insights into their journey as a band.
Oh, cool.
There's this one photo essay on their website
Okay.
that documents a trip they took to Jamaica,
Wow.
tracing reggae back to its roots,
Oh, wow.
which I think is really cool because then they tie that experience back to their own culture, and it just shows how deeply connected they are to the music.
Yeah. Yeah, they're weaving together these narratives.
Yeah.
Okay, so last call. Where can our listeners find SunBabalaw?
Just search them up online.
Yeah.
You'll find their music, their website, their socials. It's all out there.
Yeah.
Easy to find.
SunBabalaw, man.
Yeah.
What a great example of music just transcending borders,
Absolutely.
you know, taking a genre known for peace,
Yeah.
infusing it with their own flavor. So unique.
And I think what's so cool is they're using their platform to actually address like these social issues,
Yeah.
create a dialogue. It really makes you wonder what other like cultural fusions are out there.
Yeah, what else are we missing?
Waiting to be discovered, like what other revolutions are brewing,
Oh,
powered by music and a message of unity. It's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
All right, ready to dive into something totally unique.
Always up for a musical adventure. What do we have today?
Reggae, but with a Mexican twist.
Now that's a combo I haven't heard before.
Right. We're checking out SunBabalaw, a band that's blending those two worlds.
SunBabalaw. Okay. I'm intrigued. Where are they from?
That's part of what makes them so interesting. Their website describes their sound as reggae mexicano auténtico.
Auténtico, huh? Like authentically Mexican reggae.
Exactly. So what jumps out at you with that phrase? Auténtico, especially.
It definitely makes you think about how we define authenticity in music, especially when genres cross borders like this.
Right. Is it about where the artists are from, the instruments they use, the language of the lyrics?
Yeah, all of that plays a role, but it's also about a feeling, a spirit, you know?
Absolutely. And speaking of spirit, they don't shy away from big ideas. Their website also mentions peace, love, and unity.
Classic reggae themes for sure.
And even a call to join the revolution.
Wow, they're not holding back. That reminds me of Bob Marley's message in songs like Get Up, Stand Up.
Totally. Using music to inspire positive change. It seems like SunBabalaw is tapping into that same energy.
But with their own cultural twist, which is what makes it so exciting.
And it's not just about the music itself. They're really focused on building a community around their sound.
Oh, interesting. How so?
They talk about their story, they highlight their live shows, encourage fans to connect online.
Smart move, especially these days. Music can be such a powerful tool for bringing people together, and that community aspect just amplifies that.
And they're clearly trying to reach a wide audience. Their website mixes Spanish and English.
Makes sense, given the fusion of musical styles, too. It's like they're building bridges right there on the page. And they've got Oilo next to Explora, which means explore.
Ooh, I like that. Like a little nudge to really dive in, discover their sound.
Exactly. It's an invitation, not just to listen, but to become part of something bigger.
So we've got a band blending musical genres, advocating for peace and unity, actively building a community, and inviting us all along for the ride. What's fascinating is that reggae, with its roots in Jamaican culture, is now being fused with Mexican influences by a band called SunBabalaw.
It makes you wonder, could music like this actually help bridge cultural divides in our world today?
It's a powerful thought and one worth exploring. For me, just discovering SunBabalaw has opened my ears to new possibilities, and that's what this deep dive is all about.
Absolutely. Music has this incredible power to open our minds and hearts to different cultures and perspectives.
So to our listeners out there, I encourage you to check out SunBabalaw. You might just discover your new favorite band and maybe, just maybe, find yourself inspired to join their revolution of peace, love, and unity. Until next time.
Peace out.